Damn, rams you in the ass. F yourself.
Well, Corey's so nice he won't say anything.
Another guy made
Clearing my throat.
Sam, she all right?
Make sure you stretch out your creamy hamstrings.
Eric, do the clapper good, Eric. Eric, clap the clapper.
You have a phone book I could sit on?
That way, 'cause I want it that way. Tell me.
We could use that for the trailer.
Yeah, you jerk. So now you're talking shit about two people.
Hello everyone, I'm Andrew along with Frankie, our social media guy, the Big Log, and joining us in the studio, it's Rush time, Tony Rush. Tony, thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me, man. I mean, could have picked anyone else. Look how small he makes me look.
He makes everybody
I don't
look.
have any muscles.
Jesus,
what are you
man.
talking about?
You know, he's a gentle man, a gentle giant at heart. You love
I know.
giants, right? I mean, you're a big fan of a lot.
I can't say I'm a big fan of those.
Let's not give them everything all in the beginning. We'll touch on that. But
Carry on.
the reason we have Frank on the panel this time on Conversations is because you guys have a lot in common. You both were football athletes. I mean, let's talk about that.
Actually, me and Frank were on the same team in college.
Willie P. Pioneers.
Small world.
Probably the greatest football team
I didn't do much in
of
there.
all time.
He did, but like I was there.
I got to
That's all
block
that
him
matters.
every day, so that was cool. This
Yeah.
is back when he was actually a little more chubby.
Yeah, he's putting that nicely. He threw me around
He was a
everywhere.
little chubby.
He was trying to say you're a
I was
fat
taking my
fuck,
first
or
bumps with.
What was it?
What?
He was trying to say you're a fat fuck, or?
Oh no, I was fat fuck.
No,
it was bad. No,
You
it was
could
Were you guys in
probably-
the same grade, like seniors together, or
bad.
what
No,
was
no,
it?
No. Frank's old.
Wow, that's
He-
fucked up. I was
No,
I was like a super senior as a freshman, so
And I was a freshman at the time. I was super senior. So
What position did you play?
I was a defensive end.
Frank, what position you played?
tackle in the offensive line, whatever. So I got to play against him the
Really,
entire
that's shocking.
practice. Yeah, you know, I tried quarterback. They said I was a little too good. They didn't want to.
He didn't like me much back then.
What record did you guys finish with?
I don't want to talk about that. What's wrong with it? No, what's wrong with you?
This
This is about wrestling. Let's get the
Best
wrestling.
team ever. Best team
I
ever.
guess
Move
it was
on. Move it along.
not a pleasant.
It was just as well as Tim's dates go.
Wow. That is a really bad win-loss record.
Sorry.
Well, you mentioned Timothy Plasma, Orlock. He's the
Whoa,
artist
I
formerly
said
known as
Tim,
Timothy
man.
Plasma. No,
Why
no,
are you talking bad about Tim Plasma?
I'm not talking about him. We had him on the show.
You know he makes the posters, right?
Yeah, he does a
Timmy.
he does a job on him.
Does a job for a lot of things. Sorry, carry
Does the
on.
job for a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's
Do you know his finishing move?
no.
Stare at that light right there. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
There it is.
And I thought you were a baby face.
I am the baby face.
You are so mean.
No. All right, no, that was it. Now, Tony Rush is here. Tony Rush is here. All right, carry on.
We
Next
are
question.
seeing. I think conversation brings out a side of independent talent that come on this panel.
We're just hanging
and
out.
it's out of character because you're like a great guy with the kids. I've seen you like kids crying when John Teller's beating you up in the street.
Yeah.
The ambulance is called.
All right.
And now here you are burying this poor guy.
No, I wasn't burying anything. I was just listen, carry on. Next question.
So, how'd you get your start in professional wrestling?
Started professional wrestling. Started at ECPW. I didn't know. I mean, I wish I would have been able to start sooner. I didn't start till I was about 19. But I didn't know the wrestling schools, man. Not at all. I actually had my friend, actually your friend too, Kyle Angus. He told me about ECPW, brought me up there, been hooked ever since. Been wrestling for like 2.5 years now. Yeah.
So when you started with East Coast Professional Wrestling, it was Gino Caruso that was training you?
Gino, that was there, yep. And Pete Nixon, big guy.
Shout out to Pete Nixon. I haven't
Shout out
seen
Pete
him in
Nixon.
a while.
Yeah, I know.
Have you heard
Man,
from
I
him?
miss him. No, man. He doesn't talk to me.
Great guy, man. We saw him at
Beat
the
the
first
crap out
show
of me
that
all the time.
we filmed for ECPW.
He is a
And
great guy.
I guess we haven't seen him since. I don't know what happened to
He's
him.
an awesome guy. He was literally there with me Tuesdays and Thursdays, every day, every single week, for like 6 months. I mean, he showed me the ins and outs of my stuff, and anything I did wrong, he used to chop me, clothesline me. You know, it's brutal. It sounds brutal, but I mean, it helped me learn, so whatever. But he took the time out to help me out every week. So.
How influential was Gino on your training early on?
Oh, I mean, he taught me most of my basics. Pete just kind of nudged them into my brain. But, you know, I mean, it's been since day one. Even sometimes people wouldn't even go up there and I had no one to train with. He'd be the one in the ring with me. Just, you know.
What are the big things that Gino emphasizes on that stick out to you today?
Emphasis on is just listen to the crowd. That's the biggest thing. I mean, you don't have a show without the crowd. I mean, you can go in there and do a million things, but if you hear crickets or you don't hear any reaction, then what'd you really do? You know? It's just, I mean, a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people want to go out there and just do all their moves and stuff. And trust me, I have my times where I just want to go out there and start just flipping the entire time, not selling anything. But you can't. You gotta listen to the crowd. If you have a whole game plan, it's not going the way you got to change something. Yeah, it all comes down to the crowd.
In ECPW, we've known you very well. I mean, everybody here in the crew knows you very well. When we've seen you wrestle opening matches, main events, talk us through that transition. What were some of your highlights, your lowlights, things that you've learned in the last 2 years?
Well, now what do you mean? Do you mean like positioning on the show?
Let's start with humble beginnings. Starting off. What were some of the things that you had to learn the hard way, if you will?
Listen, learn the hard way is when you first start, you got to go to every show, even if you're not booked on there, because you just want to go there for your opportunity. You know, you got to do your battle royals. If all you need to do, if all you do the whole night is the battle royal, you got a good night starting out. You know?
Did you ever help set up the ring with?
Got to set up the
Timothy
ring.
Plasma?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really let me do much because I do it wrong. Apparently, he won't teach me. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, you got to help out with the ring. You got to get there early. You got to leave late. I mean, even if you weren't even on the show, there's a bunch of times where I went to shows, didn't wrestle, but, helped with the ring. A bunch of times I went, did the same thing, got on the battle royal, and then you just, you build up from there.
What were some of your favorite opponents, chemistry-wise, early on in your career?
Early on, I'd have to say John Tella.
Shocking.
Yeah, well, as much as I hate that guy, me and him, the chemistry that we have is just ridiculous. I could literally I don't even have to see him that day, and we can just, ring the bell, and we're gonna know what we're gonna do. We're confident that we're gonna have a great match.
He doesn't like you, by the way.
I know he doesn't. He's very sour about it.
But man, you guys beat the living crap out of each other. Those trilogy of street fights that we've seen, I mean, we were there for a lot of them that we filmed. I mean,
my humble beginnings turned into a nightmare once I started wrestling John Tella. But at the end of the day, I have to say that, at least in ECPW, John Tella made Tony Rush, and Tony Rush made John Tella. Because, no one was doing the stuff that we were doing at the time.
I got to give you credit for one thing, because you're probably one of the top baby faces in terms of, reactions from the crowd, getting the crowd up. And you were instrumental in Aaron Bradley's heel turn, John Tella, rising up as a heel in ECPW. What is it about you, that vulnerability, that you could connect with the crowd, with the fans?
I'm not sure. I don't like to toot my own horn, so I don't know what it is exactly
away.
about.
You're here on Conversations.
I don't know what it is exactly about me. I don't worry about myself a lot during matches, during shows. I worry more about the show itself or the match itself. So, there's a lot of times where you just want to do this moves, but people can't really get behind that. So you want to be that vulnerable person. You want to be that person that needs the crowd to get behind you in order to do what they want you to do. If the fans don't feel like you need them, then what are they really there for?
Right.
Frank,
you were mentioning something about the differences or similarities between professional wrestling and football, that it's a team sport. I remember you talking. What is something that you wanted to bring up?
Wrestlers pretty much have to work together at all times, and then football basically teaches you all about teamwork and making sure that you're doing the right thing at the right time. It's all accountability, and I think it just translates pretty well to being a wrestler. The only thing that's pretty different is we collide our heads pretty much the entire day. They're colliding their body on everything, and then the cardio.
And there's no off season.
There's no off
season. That is insane to me. Honestly.
If I had to compare football and wrestling, I would have to say the biggest thing is trust. Because just like in football, you have to trust the man next to you to do their job. you got to trust the man across the ring from you to do their job. If you can't trust them, you don't got anything.
Give us an example of that. When did you first realize when you were in the ring with somebody that you were able to trust them or distrust them?
It happened a lot with John Tello. A lot of the times it happened with Kenny Bangle, Dan the Man. I mean, those are people that are just,
Like you're leaving your body out there.
Exactly. I put my body, in their hands. They got to do the same thing for me. Not in a weird way. Just saying. But I gotta trust them. They gotta trust me. And then if we don't have it, then the entire time you're kind of just, you're trying to stay safe, and it doesn't work out the same way. When you're not thinking of the match, when you're thinking more of staying safe instead of the match, things go sideways.
Man, I've seen this kid jump out of the ring fucking every single time. So
imagine I didn't trust anyone.
Yeah.
You ever have any veteran promoters or wrestlers critique or contradict, tell you things that was kind of discouraging with the high spots, that you have to be doing right place, right time? Like, give like an example, because a lot of times people try to put emphasis on psychology, and that it's not just about bumping and flying around, like as they say, monkeys. They say in the bump monkeys or whatever they say.
Spot monkeys.
Spot monkeys, whatever. But
to contradict it, the biggest thing that I've learned, I learned from Gino, I've learned from the people that take the time to help me out, is it's all about like you said, psychology. It's got to make sense. You can't just go out there and do a million flips, a million stuff, and it just doesn't make sense to the match. Like, I can't be getting, I don't know. It has to make sense into the match. And if it doesn't, then you risk messing up the match. You risk hurting each other. You risk the fans not getting behind it, and you risk a lot doing that. Now, I feel like a lot of people also try to hinder the people that can do all these things, because sometimes they can't do it. Now, they say, "Oh, why do you do that? You don't have to do that." I went out there, I did 2 hip tosses and got the same reaction you did. But if you can do it, why not do it? Why not I want to put my body on the line. I want to give everyone the best show I possibly can. Why not do it? If
you're capable of doing it.
If you're capable of doing it, why not doing it?
People are gonna remember the shit that you go out there you wear.
Exactly.
Instead of just a regular move,
Right. Exactly. So it's not like I want to take the spot from anyone else, but I want to, like I said, I think about the show, I think about the match. I want to give them the best show possible, and a lot of the crowds like.
And you and John Tell are pretty. You guys teetered on reality a lot. You left even like kids. Everybody knows it's a show, but some kids, they don't know anything. And like when you were left laying.
Listen, man, there was one time we had this thing where I was doing autograph signings, came from behind, beat the crap out of me, body slammed me on the outside, like outside. I'm talking about like the outside, like in front of the building. Had people trying to call the ambulance.
People did call the cops.
Call the cops, try to call the ambulance. But at the end of the day, that's perfect. That's what you want. You want people invested in it. Imagine I did all that and no one even went outside to check or anything. That would have been embarrassing. But trying to do all these things and no one cares. But
I felt like a scumbag. A little boy asked if you were okay, and I said I think he might die.
Oh well, I don't.
And I saw a little trickle of tear, kind of forming. But you gotta listen. If I grew up Hulk Hogan getting choked out by Andre the Giant, and my father did not tell me it was a work and he let me cry, you could cry too.
But I don't think anyone told him that he was dying out there. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, true. That maybe was a little excessive.
You're trying to traumatize
It was
the
a
kid.
little excessive. I should have just used maybe he's hurt.
No, exactly.
No, I like what he did. I'd rather think.
Joey G loved it. Joey's old school. He said, "Yeah, tell him, yeah."
Yeah, he might be dead. Yeah.
Yeah, he might be dead. Yeah.
Might be that.
Whatever works, And
It's a good storyline right there.
It worked that night.
Near death.
It worked that
You
night.
were in the early infancy of ECPW. Talk about as you were going through ECPW, the phase with part of production. How has that changed? What were some of the things that you
Is this where
enjoyed?
you want me to put you guys over?
Yeah, put us over a little bit.
The production it's just amazing. It's bar none compared to what we had before. I'm pretty sure before we used to record our things on a flip phone. So it was kind of like that. We wouldn't, the audio was off. And, you barely could see anything. The ring, we got a completely new ring. We changed buildings. In the 2.5 years that I've been here, these PW's changed a lot. Thanks to you guys, again, thanks to the ring, the whole production, everything
Book
as a
us.
whole has just changed. People have stepped up their game because now, it feels, professional.
You see people get new ring gear. I mean, people have
Exactly.
take the time to get, advice for a lot of the guys. I'm not this for everybody. Royalty-free music would be nice. Let's not get flagged on YouTube.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it's hard out here.
I love Kenny Bengal's song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kenny
That's like the
Bengal.
best
All
song.
day.
I refuse to change my song until Kenny Bengal does it. All right? He
literally
comes
the
out to Kanye West. I'm gonna keep coming out to Kenny. That's all I'm saying. They try to freaking change my theme song to like some like church anthem. It was stupid. Or whatever.
Church anthem.
Yeah.
You've got some great matches with Kenny Bengal. Let's touch on that since you just mentioned him.
Well, that's because I genuinely don't like Kenny Bengal. And no, I'm just kidding.
Can you honestly, serious question, without mentioning names, can you not like somebody personally but still have a great match professionally?
Of course. It actually gives you a little more of an edge because now you actually want to go out there and. I mean, you don't want to
But
go out
without
there,
hurting them.
Yeah, you don't want to go out there and like cripple them. But I
Right.
mean, every time you put you give a punch, you put a little bit more into it, and just gives it a little more real feeling of when you actually don't like the person. I wouldn't say it's better than being friends with the person because I mean, again, the trust, and that they're gonna be okay with stuff after because whatever to get the show better. With Kenny. Kenny, we actually started out, and I don't think he liked me very much when I first got here.
Why?
Is it because you're a dick in real life?
No, I'm the nicest person ever.
He's one of the
Beat me.
nicest
Well, I
guys.
just heard him
about?
talking shit about our poster guy, so I don't know how nice.
Listen, this is your poster guy.
Our poster guy?
Oh,
He is not our poster guy, Frank.
Anyway,
Let's make that clear. Tim, I love you, but he is not our. You see that?
anyway, yeah. So I didn't think Kenny really liked me at first, but then we started training together, and I think he actually started just respecting the fact that I wanted to put in the same hard work that he was putting in because that man works hard. The man's in the gym pretty much all day when he's not
all day.
all day.
Like that.
And I mean, he's working all the time, so I feel like he just respected that. So once we had our matches, and he knew that again that he can trust me, I could trust him. I mean, our matches are like effortless now. I mean, they look brutal, but they're effortless right now.
What was it like wrestling Dan the Man?
Oh my God, Dan the Man is just you guys call him the ring general on the announcing. That man is actually a ring general. That man knows how to recover everything. He knows how to just have a great. And the fact that he's I'm not saying old, but he's a veteran, and a lot of the veterans don't really like doing much.
There's a lot of experience on the scene. I mean, he's wrestled almost in a lot of
Right.
states.
Well, there's
I
the
mean, he's been around.
experience, and then there's also like after a certain amount of time, the veterans kind of feel like they don't have to do much anymore. Dan is not like that. Dan wants to, he wants to have the best match possible, and he puts himself over about it after, but he wants to have the best match. Like to have a bad match with Dan, you have to try to have a bad match with Dan. That's how good he is.
So he really gives it his all. So if somebody's really like lagging on their part, he really picks up the.
Gives it his all. I mean, you go up to him and you're like, just out of respect, so what do you want to do tonight? He's like, what do you want to do tonight? And he's okay with most of it as long as it all makes sense and it's nothing too crazy. He's in for all of it. He's in for bumping, all that stuff.
He beat Billy Gunn in Butler, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn doesn't like me.
I've read. I've heard.
Totally
I don't know why, man. I love you.
Thank you. You wouldn't bully me like that, right?
No, not on camera.
I thought he was gonna punch me in the face. Let's see if he did that with Frank interviewing him.
Yeah, you can try.
You can do anything with Frank.
Frank would have told him to go himself.
Fuck yourself. Oh shit.
I thought it was PG.
down. It's PG. The fuck is that? We just had a hot dog on here.
That's true. That's why I thought it was PG. You guys started playing Mickey Mouse and stuff. Andy started talking about being in Elmo suits and stuff. So it just got weird. Got real weird real quick.
The hot dog is a sexual innuendo. I know we didn't talk about it, but I know what it means. It's putting the hot dog into his opponent. You know what I mean?
I thought I wasn't gonna get this stuff because Noel wasn't here.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually
Cutting that.
But if you want, we do have a dildo. That can be cut.
Did you have as much fun with Frank and when you guys were in school together?
Listen, man.
Were you a sophomore when I was
No, I was a freshman.
You were a freshman and
I
I was a sophomore?
only played my freshman year.
And you were Austin's year.
Yeah.
Austin's here. Austin actually watches our channel, so shout out to Austin.
Shout out to Austin, quarterback.
Was Frank a bully?
Yes.
Did he use his pulverizing presence?
Yes.
to-
I'm telling you, Frank did not like me when I was there. I don't know if it was a freshman thing,
Only on freshmen.
but yeah, see, that's what it was. But
you take his lunch money?
I would, I wouldn't say I had fun only because
We lost.
I didn't well that, and I didn't hate football. It just wasn't my calling. I mean, like I played it 1 year in high school, just because I wanted to play my senior year with my my friends, and then they decided to put me into Willie P. And that's just an all-day job, man. It's from 6 in the morning all the way to like to 10 o'clock at night.
And you're
I
not
don't wanna
getting
do-
paid for it.
And you're not getting paid for it.
No.
I mean,
Breaking
like I don't.
NCAA rules. You gotta make some money.
listen,
Not
man.
a scholarship, not getting paid,
Nothing, man. It was
fucking-
nothing. So I mean, like, there was no incentive for me because one, I didn't love the sport. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it, and like there was a calling.
No
man.
alumni making it rain.
Oh, yeah, right.
Listen, out of all this, I played 3 different sports in my life. I played baseball, did wrestling, and I did football. And it's just like out of all those, like it was all right. I enjoyed it, but I mean, nothing has my passion like wrestling does. I will do this from 6 in the morning to 10 at night. This is where I'm at, and I knew while I was in college and playing football that it just wasn't for me. I mean, like I respect the hell out of everyone who did pull through. I mean, Frank was there for all
Forever.
4 years. Yeah, forever. Look at that. And like I respect the hell out of everyone that could do it, but it just wasn't for me.
For a lot of fans that don't know, how long have you been wrestling?
2.5 years. I think I'm creeping up to 2.5 years. Yeah, started the summer of 2016.
That's a pretty long relationship, man. Like at some point, you gotta ask him to marry you. You know what I mean? It's getting real serious.
Yeah.
Do the butterflies? Do they ever leave when you go out through that curtain every
No,
time?
never. And I'm happy they don't, because if you aren't nervous and you don't have those butterflies, you don't care about it anymore.
That's true.
I always have those butterflies. I mean, they kind of go away only after you step out in the curtain, but every single time I'm in Gorilla, just jumping around, sweating, I gotta pee. Everything just happens all in one motion. But as soon as you step into those curtains, it's just like a switch goes off, and I'm in a different world.
I want to mention, within the span of 2 years, when you're training yourself and you're wrestling, you actually were training. Gino trusted you to train other wrestlers as well at his school. Is that right?
Yeah, he's had me, teach the basics and work a little with people like Anthony Marcos, Andy Ray, Jim Acro.
Kid's got spunk, Andy Ray.
Yeah, he does. He has spunk.
But Anthony
But-
Marcos, that guy, he's a young guy, and he's wrestling like he's been there
Like
for
he-
5-6 years. Doesn't have
yeah.
a hiccup. Doesn't
got a
just
cool
goes-
gimmick, too.
Yeah, I love
He's
it.
got the albino.
We gotta have Anthony Marcos here.
Yeah, no,
In
that's
character.
good. That kid's good. He's really good. He's got, as long as he stays humble, he's gonna have a bright future. But yeah, I mean those 3, even the ones that come in now. I mean, wrestling isn't for everyone, so there's a lot of people that come try it and then they kind of disappear. But I mean, everyone who comes in pretty much.
Give us an
has
example
me-
of somebody that's came in and they disappeared or
They disappear. I mean, you. would
or it
probably-
didn't work out.
You probably wouldn't know their names just for the fact that they disappeared. I mean, Jim Acro. Jim Acro had like 3 matches and disappeared. But I mean, I think he's in school. He's kind of
It's like the passion for the wrestling is
It's just some people like it as a hobby. Some people like it as just all right. I got the itch for wrestling today. But I mean, the people who have the passion is the people that make it far.
right.
Gotta have the passion for it. It's a rough business.
So speaking of rough, I know that because Frank bullied you a lot during school, that now you hate giants.
Yeah.
Is that why when you're training a certain giant that things didn't?
I never trained that guy. First of all, never. I
You're not
never
taking-
stepped.
You're not gonna take ownership for that.
Nope. Stepped in the
No.
ring one time with him, and
Team
I
player.
gave him too much of an aggressive lockup apparently, and he wasn't a fan of it. But when people come in, you got to come in like with an open mind. You take advice from everyone. You can't come in thinking your shit don't stink pretty much. Like you can't, everyone who comes in and you're probably an athlete or you're a talker, this and that. Like you have some edge into the business, but everyone starts from ground zero and you gotta respect everyone. And a lot of people just don't like taking advice, don't like taking, criticism, and you can't do that. Definitely not in this business. I mean, there's some people that you can, pick and choose, like, all right, you don't know what you're talking about because, you've seen it happen. But It's just you can't come in with a mindset.
What's
like
a
that.
criticism that you have gotten yourself that at first you were taken back by it, but over time you said, hey, that's probably the best piece of advice I ever had?
Do less. I never understood the aspect of people wanting you to do less moves, more character, more selling, and stuff like that until like you understand that if you do so many things so quickly, no one's gonna know what you did. No one's gonna register. It all just looks fake. You're making the business look fake, and I mean that's one thing that at first I was like, you just probably want me to do less because you can't do it. But in reality, it's because it makes
There's
sense.
that heel side of Tony Rush coming out now.
No, that's not the heel thing. It's just
Maybe you have hey, you've
be a
seen
great
Shawn
heel.
Michaels as the cocky heel. Maybe this is the beginning.
No,
of something
man, I'm
here.
not trying to be cocky. I was telling you as my mindset when I first came in. I mean, there's things that
I'm breaking your balls.
I'm
There's
not
things I
trying to
can
peer
do.
pressure you, but like if you were
I'm
a heel,
sweating right now because you
I would
guys.
love it.
Jesus. Oh my God. All right, listen. Anyway,
This is the hot seat.
there's things that you come in, and I mean, like
That's what
there's
I'm
things
saying.
I can do that I know
Shit.
other people can't do, and I used to just think that it's because all right, well you just can't do it, so that's why you don't want me to do it. But it's not like that. A lot of people actually have your best interests in mind, and they want you to succeed. And I actually take that as a as a nice gesture. The fact that anyone takes the time to give me advice, wants to help me, wants me to do better. So now I'm not taken aback or.
Give me your top 3 opponents in terms of chemistry or guys that you enjoyed working with.
I'd have to be Kenny Bangle, Dan the Man, and John Tella. Those are the 3 that I know I could have a great match, no matter what, without even talking to them. And I learned, although me and John first started, I don't know, at the same time, but we learned a lot from each other because we were doing a lot when we first started. We tried to do less, and it works better. So we learned a lot from there. Kenny is a very good showboater, so I learned I learned a little bit of showboating from him, and then Dan just an all around knows everything. So well, not everything, but.
Speaking of showboating, you're a singer and a dancer. Is that correct?
I don't sing or dance. I'm Spanish. I had to be able to dance, but
That's true.
that's pretty much it. I don't want to be my dance.
You get shunned from the family. That's
Exactly. Like I have to sleep outside. Like, who the hell wants to do that? I don't even get invited to like family
It's
barbecues
facts.
and stuff.
Well, we have a bit of a tradition that we've developed on Conversations. It happened pretty much by accident. We have your good friend Timothy Plasma. He was on here doing karaoke. Maybe you could try to top him.
That's what you meant.
Yeah, I was trying to segue into something here.
If it's a tradition, yeah, I'm not gonna say no.
cue it up.
Oh, we have it actually.
Damn, you got a nice logo, huh? Where the fuck that come from?
Now, what is that YNK?
That means you never know. That is the wisdom of uncertainty.
That's been
Pretty much, take the good and the bad, and go, face them all the same way. And to me, what that means is, especially with this, a lot of people don't follow the dream of pursuing professional wrestling because it seems unattainable. That tells me follow your dreams because you never know. All you're gonna ever have is regret if you don't try to pursue it. At least you can say you tried.
Wise
Great
words.
piece of advice. So Tony, why did you pick this song? Is this are you singing this to your lovely girlfriend?
This is my go-to karaoke. I'm singing this to you
Oh
and
wow.
my girlfriend.
Okay.
But this is my go-to karaoke song. Are you kidding me, man?
It's my go-to too.
I was practicing this on the way here.
Hit it.
Great.
I'm ready. I want it that way, 'cause I want